From Clarkwoods.com. This is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 162. I am Chris.
And I am Steve.
What'd you have for breakfast this morning, Steve?
I had a bagel.
You had a bagel. That's it? Nothing
Nope.
else? No.
Well, I had a bagel. Okay, so I had a bagel.
A bagel.
With some cream cheese on it.
With some schmear.
Yeah, as the
Al Yankovic. Is it all Jewish people?
I think it's it may be a Yiddish term.
It might be a term. Okay. I mean, I know it from Pretty Fly for a Rabbi.
Yeah,
that's where I know maybe bagels with some schmear.
It was cream cheese.
Okay.
So I had that, and
is cream cheese a schmear?
Yeah,
and butter would be a schmear.
I don't know. Maybe
jelly, peanut butter.
Sure.
I don't know.
If it's a spread that you're putting on your bagel, perhaps.
Lox.
Ugh. I'm sorry. I don't want salmon on my bagel. It's just not what I want for breakfast. Although we had a little bit of a get together here last night.
Yeah.
And
so this morning there were
some leftover burgers and dogsies and sausages and whatnot. The dog's barking next door.
Oh, it's like, did you get a dog and you haven't told me yet?
No, the neighbors have one.
The neighbors have a dog. Okay.
It's Biden. His name is Biden.
Oh, come on. That's a little too soon.
He's just a pup.
Yeah. It's wishful thinking is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I took a couple of burgers and I re-grilled them up on the stove and ate those.
And were they good? See, I around our house after a cookout or a barbecue, depending on your perspective, there's usually a bunch of burgers. My dad always makes too many,
right? As we did,
and
despite having a lot of people here,
there's always too many burgers. At least a couple.
But the thing is, the burgers take longer than the dogs,
right? So people start eating the hot dogs.
So people start eating the hot dogs, and by the time burgers are done, they're like, "Oh, I'm full. I'll have one burger." Whereas they might have had two.
This sounds like an outtake from Father of the Bride. Like, why do my hot dogs take longer than my hamburger? No, have you ever seen that movie?
I think you just have to put the burgers on first.
Yeah. No. Who's on first?
No, hot dogs on second. I don't know who's on third.
So the hamburgers are there's always extra burgers around at our house after a cookout, and the general method of reheating in our house is the microwave, and I hate that.
Well, I was going to do that, and Becky's like, "Don't do that." And I was like, "Why not?" And she's like, "It's going to be gross." And I'm like, "All right."
Okay, now did the burger already have cheese on it?
Yeah,
so that's the first way it's going to.
It was harder to slap it on the little pan and get it heated up without the cheese getting all screwed up.
Possibly, but if you put that in the microwave, the cheese just all melts off the top of it, and you end up with a burger. And depending on whether you put it on a paper towel or a plate, you end up with a burger that has sort of like a I don't know what's it when the monk has like has a bunch of hair around the sides but has a bald top. What's that called?
I don't know if that's a monk. That's like a samurai thing, like a top knot.
So you get like a no. But he's got a big old bald spot, and then he's got hair on the sides. His hair is still growing out here, right? But the top is bald.
Like Friar Tuck.
Yeah, like Friar Tuck. So you got a Friar Tuck burger going on when you put it in the microwave.
Okay.
It's got all the cheese along the sides, but the top of it has no cheese on it.
I could go for a Friar Tuck burger right now.
Friar Tuck. Now, see, when you say Friar Tuck burger, or when I say, I said it first, but when you said Friar Tuck burger, the first thing I thought of was, is it a burger that is drenched in some sort of liquor? Because I thought of the Friar Tuck from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That guy, of course, was also a mainstay on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Back in the day, like the British version, I think.
Wow.
But I remember that guy. That guy, he could hold his liquor, if you know what I'm saying.
Wasn't Porky Pig the Friar Tuck and the Donald Duck, or not Donald Duck, Daffy Duck?
Daffy Duck. Get your ducks straight. Get your ducks in a row.
They were both in Roger Rabbit playing pianos.
They were dueling pianos.
Yeah.
With cannons and whatnot. Were you Disney or WB? Like which of those cartoon universes were you if you're sitting there on a Saturday morning or a Monday morning, as it was, eating your hamburger for breakfast, and you put on some cartoons, are you putting on Bugs Bunny or are you putting on Donald Duck?
I mean, for classic cartoons, I'm gonna go with Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck any day of the week.
Yeah,
I think they were slightly more subversive. And there was definitely ones that got pulled.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And so I would rather watch that or Tom and Jerry as opposed to like classic Disney cartoons, because except for like the goofy ones where he was like skiing or they're doing some like learning to drive or like weird, like those were really good, but like a lot of like old Disney cartoons were just like okay.
Yeah, they put out one.
I mean, they weren't bad.
Yeah,
but they weren't great.
I've always been a Disney person, which is I think you just summed it up. I'm okay, but I'm not great. But no. But they
just
put
call
out
1-800 I feel okay, which is probably a porn line. Don't actually call it if you're child. But if you're a child and
listening to our explicit podcast, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Why don't you grow a hair on your ball bag and then come back and listen to us?
Yes. Or your lady parts. Don't want to discriminate.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Your ball bag or your lady parts. Grow some hair.
Jay, grow some hair on your labia.
Sorry, that's not what I meant. Oh. I mean above your lady parts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They made a newish Goofy cartoon within the last decade or so of that style that you're talking about, and it was called I don't know if it's how to install your home theater, or it's basically instead of him learning how to play football or skiing or whatever, it's him learning how to install a home theater, and it's actually not bad.
Okay.
Does
he go yo?
He probably does at least once. I mean, that's what made those. I like me a Chip and Dale fucking with Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck cartoon. Like I love that shit.
I mean, Donald Duck is a better character than Mickey any day of the week.
Oh yeah, I mean the Mickey ones are only really great when Mickey's doing what Mickey does, which is be the straight man, and he's got to have somebody else along with him, except for the really early ones, where he didn't have anybody to play off of yet. But I mean, I love. There's a Donald one. It's not nearly as subversive as any of the Warner Brothers stuff, but there's a Donald one where he is trying to go out on a date with Daisy, and he has no money, and he's babysitting Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And he breaks into their piggy bank to get the money to go out dancing with Daisy.
Oh, jeez.
And then he's trying to put the money back so they won't notice, and he gets into all sorts of trouble. And it's pretty fun, And he ends up washing dishes.
Okay, so like Huey, Dewey, and Louie are Donald's nephews. Then who the hell is their father and mother? Like
there's a
canonical character that is their parents?
I don't know if they're
because like Donald is like if you go to the future times the 80s with DuckTales, like Donald's like, yeah, I gotta go off to the Navy or whatever the fuck he was doing, and he's like, here, you're gonna stay with my uncle,
right,
Scrooge.
your great uncle, yeah. So I think in the comic books, because they had Disney comic books back in the day, I think there is a site out there or something that could give you a whole family tree of Duckburg and get into all that. I don't know in the cartoons that there ever was anything that told us for sure who the heck their mom or dad was. I think for some reason it's sticking in my head that it's their mom. Their mom is Donald's sister.
Okay,
I think.
Yeah. Another thing, and we're going into a rabbit hole.
Maybe their mom is Daisy, and we're dealing with the Game of Thrones situation right here.
Oh, jeez, wow.
And he's actually, he's their uncle in the way that Jamie is their uncle.
Wow,
but he's really their,
Spoilers to the first episode.
Game of Ducks.
Well, but I'm going down a rabbit hole here, and it's...
is Bugs down there?
No, but
or is it Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh?
No, I'm talking about DuckTales. Before you get us horribly off topic, blah, blah, blah. So Launchpad McQuack is the pilot.
Yes.
That works for Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
And then it seemed simultaneously.
Yeah.
He was also the pilot that worked for Darkwing Duck.
Oh, this is true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, like,
Are you saying
how did he manage to do that?
Yeah.
Is it in, did he leave Duckburg and then go to wherever New Quack City or
You're
whatever?
trying to figure out like what's the timeline there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because occasionally, like, what was the robot duck?
That would be Ductimus Prime.
Yeah, well, whatever.
No,
I forget what the goddamn robot duck was, but he was on both shows too.
Okay, I don't remember him. I'm not as up on the. See, that's one of those 2-year age gap things. You guys were way into that stuff, and I liked DuckTales, but the rest of it.
Well, DuckTales was earlier on, but then it was like Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, and
I was aware of Chip and Dale. I was aware of Darkwing Duck, but like I liked DuckTales. The rest of them, I kind of lost track.
But around that time, like in as far as the Warner Brothers and Disney went, like there was the Disney Afternoon, and there was like those cartoons that I just talked about.
Yeah.
But there was also Tiny Toons.
Yes, they're tiny and they're toony and they're all a little loony.
And then there was Animaniacs, which out of all of them, I think Animaniacs was my favorite.
Yeah, I know you guys, you and my brother and all the people that you guys hang out with definitely liked that one. I didn't. Whether because
you might have been like way too old for it because like I think it came out like we were either in 8th grade or just going into high school and you were
I was already
you were like I'm super angsty teen.
I'm watching The Crow.
I'm watching The Crow. Listen to 9 Inch Nails. And then you still do that.
Yeah, I do. there's a number of Nine Inch Nails references in the book. Probably more than there should be.
You should. But did you thank Trent Reznor?
I didn't thank Trent Reznor in my 5,000 word acknowledgments / history of the text. No, I did not.
Cool.
I did acknowledge his band Nine Inch Nails in a subsequent acknowledgments page, which talked about the chapter titles in the book. This is all at the back of the book that nobody's going to read, but
I'm gonna flip right to it.
Flip right to that stuff. But I was like, there are chapter titles that are references to songs, and I don't want somebody who is not well versed in songs, in the music of the day. To think that these turns of phrase are my own turns of phrase. I want to give credit where credit is due. So at the back of the book, I give credit where credit is due. So I guess in that sense, I do thank Mr. Reznor. But let me ask you this. You just got to go back because you're talking about this is one of the things that was on my list. It was a question I wanted to ask you. Very important. You were talking about which happened first, Darkwing Duck or DuckTales, right?
I mean, DuckTales happened first.
Well... yes, possibly, but that was published first. That's what came out first, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is chronologically.
No, it does because that robot duck happened in DuckTales, like the origin story of the robot duck. What the fuck was it? I gotta look it up.
Alter Duckness.
No, just stop guessing and
Mega Duck.
But you can ask me the question.
All right. So the important question that this came up to me because I read books to my children on most nights. Is I was reading to them 2 Dr. Seuss books in not direct succession, but within a week of each other.
It was Gizmo Duck.
Gizmo Duck, assembled by Inspector Gadget.
No, it was. I think it was Gyro Gearloose made it, and then Fenton Crackshell was the guy who was in the suit.
So like he was like an Iron Man.
Yeah,
like he's like that Gizmo Fenton.
So he was a cyborg basically.
Oh, okay.
But he had like a one wheel at the bottom of it. It was really bad design.
That doesn't sound practical. All right, the important question.
What was it?
It's related to Dr. Seuss. Are you familiar with your Seuss?
As much as a 38-year-old person can be. Okay. Like probably 25 years removed from last reading a Dr. Seuss book.
Are you familiar with the character of Horton the elephant?
You mean the Horton Hears a Who one?
Well, yes, and...
Yes, and, ooh.
Horton hatches the egg.
Now, I've never heard of Horton hatches the egg.
So I'm going to put this out there to the listener. because maybe they will have an opinion on this. Maybe they will even be able to link us to something. You can send that to hot@clarkwoods.com or tweet us, and we'll give you that information at the end of the show.
Or you could just do it now.
At ECC1977.
Or at Tuesday is Loser, or both.
Or both. You can get in touch with us and tell us what you think about this very important academic problem. This is a big thing in academia, in the literature community. We all want to know what the answer to this is, and I'm betting that there's someone out there who will know. So, in Horton Hears a Who, the premise of this, and we're talking in an academic context here, so I will have to spoil things for you, but I'm sorry. I hope
I don't think anybody's going to be upset.
Okay.
Even if they haven't read the book.
So in Horton Hears a Who,
right?
The elephant is walking through the jungle of Newell, just sitting there by the cool of the pool.
Of course it rhymes.
All right, but so there's an elephant in the jungle, and he thinks he hears something, and he's like, "Wait, what do I hear? I don't see anybody around. What am I hearing?" And this dust speck goes by, and the dust speck he suspects has a person on it. And if quite likely, if there's one, there's more. One person, two person, three person, four, something like that.
We don't need to.
All right. Sorry, had to do it at least once or twice. Well, so he's got a dust speck, and he suspects that there are people on it, and these people are called the Who's. Now, there's a whole separate argument we could get into as to whether or not the Who's on Horton's dust speck are the same Who's who are in trouble with the Grinch.
Yeah,
but let's not go there.
This is not a beer. I'm drinking seltzer. I'm nursing a hangover today.
Which this question is certainly helping with.
Yeah.
All right. So Horton hears this Who, and the rest of the animals in the jungle think he's nuts. The Horton's Nuts Coalition is led by a mama kangaroo and her baby, who just repeats everything that she says, and by a bunch of monkeys called are they the Winger Sheep?
The monkey bunch.
The monkey bunch.
It was, and the head monkey was Monkey Mark.
Monkey Mark.
Monkey
Mark and the Monkey Bunch. So Monkey Mark and the Monkey Bunch, they team up with Kanga and Roo, and they tie up Horton, and they're about to put his. First they hire an eagle named Vladikov. Always got to get the Russians involved.
Wait a minute. A kangaroo and a bunch of monkeys tie up an elephant?
Yes, but first, before they get to that point, they try to stop the elephant by just hiring an eagle from Russia, a Russian eagle, to a very swift wing, to take the flower with the speck on it. They hire this eagle, Russian eagle, to take that flower and drop it in a patch of flowers, a patch of clover, right? But Horton still finds it, so then, yes, Horton is tied up by Kanga, Roo, Monkey Mark, and the Monkey Bunch, right? And they're about to dunk.
Stop making it. You're making it not funny now.
That's my job. So they
It doesn't have to be, Chris.
They take the flower, and they're about to dunk it in the bezelnut juice. All right,
the bezelnut.
The bezelnut juice.
Is it just like just honey, like boiling hot honey?
Yes, it's Kanga and Roo stole the honey from Winnie. And
actually, Rabbit was the one that had all the honey. And
okay, Pooh, but they don't want.
Pooh was constantly stealing rabbits.
But they don't want Pooh to find it, so they call it "quote unquote" bezelnut juice.
Yeah, because it's nut juice.
And so they're about to dunk the thing in there, and Horton cries out to the people on the dust speck, "You got to let them know that you're there." And eventually, yes, they let him know that that they're there, and all the animals hear it. And they untie Horton, and everyone lives happily ever after. Right. Okay, so that's Horton Hears a Who. Now, there's another story called Horton Hatches the Egg. And so in Horton Hatches the Egg, Horton's just going along through the jungle, and there's this bird named Maisie, and Maisie is a lazy bird.
Maisie Williams?
Have you seen, not to get horribly off topic.
Well, that's what we do, right?
I've been repeating this to the point where, again, it's not funny anymore because my kids and my wife are now sick of it.
Are you singing Wiener, Wiener, Wiener?
No. There's a clip from the Apple Music TV series Carpool Karaoke. which is based off of James Corden's late night bit. But there's an episode of it featuring Maisie Williams and oh my gosh, what's the actress who plays her sister? Fuck, I can't remember.
Whatever.
The two
Sansa,
Sansa and Arya are in a car in Austin, Texas, and they're doing carpool karaoke. But the other thing that they're doing is trying to say phrases as if they were Ned Stark, trying to do them like very serious, as if you were Ned Stark or Jon Snow standing on top of the wall. And the first thing they try to get, that Arya tries to get Sansa to say is Hakuna Matata. And she does a great job of it. And then the second thing she tries to get Sansa to say is the opening to Baby Got Back. And it is hilarious. I will not try to do it here because I want you to hear it at least once and find it funny before I ruin it next week.
Okay.
So I'm saying, everyone go out and watch it.
Let me preemptively warn you.
I'm not going to ruin it this week. I want you to go out and watch it, have a laugh, and then next week I'll start ruining it for you, just like I've ruined it for my family.
Is James Corden on that one too?
He's not. No. So
does he get
he was
paid?
in the pilot episode, so he is like the producer.
Okay.
And what they
so
did,
at least he's getting paid.
Yeah. What they did is they had him and Will Smith in the first one, and actually that was the least funny one I've seen. And what the funniest ones have been the ones where Corden is not involved at all, and they just get two. They had some comedian and Metallica paired up together. That was pretty funny. But
was it Jim Brewer?
No.
Because that would have been a good pair. Because Jim Brewer does good, like a pretty good James Hetfield.
Oh,
so it would be good to have them. Like I think he actually toured with them for a short while, and like. Listen to search on YouTube for old O&A episodes when Jim Brewer's on talking about like how when he toured with Metallica.
Interesting.
He is like as far as like comics go, he is not a I'm gonna tell a joke guy.
Okay.
Like if you go to see like his comedy, he tells great stories, and that's why he was always one of my favorite guests that O&A would have on, because like well, I imagine they loved it too, because they just basically they just sit him down and get him talking, and he would talk for like 2 hours. And it would be like he told this story about like his like across the street neighbor, like that was like a pizza guy, and he was just like a nightmare, and just it was just like story after story after story about this guy and him just doing the exact wrong thing every time. And check out old Brewer clips from O&A.
But he is not the one who is on there. Anyway, it's a good. Well, I wouldn't say it's a fantastic series, but they do know what their format is, and they go for 15 minutes. They do not try to make a 22-minute show out of what should be no more than like a 10 or 15-minute bit. And it's pretty good. I dig it. At any rate.
We're talking about Horton though.
Horton is finds Maisie, lazy Maisie.
Well, it's an egg. It's hard to be.
Well, no. Maisie is a bird sitting on an egg.
Oh, okay.
And so Maisie's like, "Hey, Horton, check this out. I want to have a little bit of a rest here. Would you, an elephant?
Would you smash my egg, please?
Mind sitting on my egg?"
Okay.
Right? So Horton says, "Sure," and Maisie takes off. Horton adjusts the tree so that he can sit on so that he can get onto the nest, and he sits there. And Maisie's like, "You know what? I'm having such a fine time down here in Palm Beach that I ain't going back. All right? I'm not going back." And so you see Horton suffering through winter and whatever, and then come springtime, a bunch of hunters show up. They capture Horton rather than shoot him because they see it's an elephant sitting on top of a bird's nest, and that shit they can sell to a circus, which they do. They bring him back, they sell him to a circus. People around the country see Horton the elephant sitting on a thing, and finally the circus comes to Palm Beach where Lazy Maisie is sitting, right? And Lazy Maisie...
Palm Beach, Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, she's a terrible person if she's living in Florida. Please take offense, everybody that's listening in Florida.
It's America's dick. No, it's not.
No, it's America's balls. We were talking about this
Drink.
yesterday at the party.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, did you bring up Mr. Oswald?
No, I forgot that it was a Patton Oswalt bit. But like, what is it? Maine is technically America's.
Maine is the dick.
Yeah.
And,
Or well, actually, the whole East Coast would be like the shaft.
Yeah. But we prefer to think of Maine as just the stubby little dick at the end of it, and then the Florida is the nutsack.
Yeah.
Flat
nuts.
So Maisie,
Old Flat Nuts USA.
So Maisie is down there at the I think it's Palm Beach, and Horton and the circus come through, and Maisie sees the egg's about to hatch, and Maisie's like, "Well, fuck! Now I want my egg back. You did all the hard work, but like whatever, you brought my egg to me, so I want my egg back." And they have an argument about it. But then when the egg hatches, a fucking wuzzle comes out.
A wuzzle?
You remember wuzzles? They were like, okay, so they were a thing around.
Oh, the Disney, like there was two things.
They were two animals merged in one. It's a fucking elephant bird.
Oh.
They fucking stole that idea from fucking Dr. Seuss, man.
Is this what you're getting at?
No,
or
no,
are we
that's not what I'm getting at. But it's just the thing that I've always wanted to say out loud. I just wanted somebody to hear the
I think it was just
conspiracy.
Michael Eisner being like, this would be cool, I guess.
Right.
It was like group think.
So then Maisie's like, fuck with this. I don't want an elephant bird. And people are like, you know what? We love Horton. Let's ship him back to the jungle with his elephant bird baby.
Okay.
So here's where it all ties back to Darkwing Duck and DuckTales. What I am wondering is which happens first. Does Horton hatch the egg first, or does Horton hear the who first? Because in Horton hatches an egg, before the hunters get him, the animals are all around, and they're like, Horton, you're an idiot. What are you doing sitting on the egg? But they don't try to tie him up, right? And so what I can't figure out is that the first time Horton does something stupid, and so they're like letting him have a pass, and then by the time he's hearing fucking voices, then they got to tie him up? Or has he gotten a pass because one time he did something crazy, and then it turned out fucking there were who's on that dust speck, and so now he can sit on an egg? And I think whether you believe which one you believe comes first says everything about whether or not you're a good person or a bad person.
I think that you would need to just study what the publication date is, and I don't think Dr. Seuss is writing prequels about Horton.
I don't know. I think he might be. I think
be like, oh my god, I got this
I got this idea.
Let's just say if
what happened to Horton before he heard the Who.
Let's just say if Horton hears the Who came first, as far as like when it was published,
right?
Like Dr. Seuss is like, okay, I got this character Horton, and let's do a little bit of a backstory from when he sat on an egg and hatched an elephant bird baby.
Yeah. I mean, but then the question becomes, no matter which one is first, all right. So if the egg is first, right, what the fuck happened to his baby?
Yeah, I
he
think
abandoned his kid.
I'm gonna go with I think that Here's a Who is first.
But if Here's a Who is first, where's the fucking dust speck? Did he do dust speck genocide?
Maybe he left it someplace like safe so the Who's could live a happy life. It's not like he can really like hang out with these big people living on a dust speck.
Well,
he's like,
he
dwarfs them in size.
Right. Yes, I see where you're going there, but
maybe he just has it he put it in a safe place where like it won't get smushed or whatever.
But seeing
and he
what
comes
happens,
by and says like, hey, every once in a while, just every once in a while, just zipping on by. Hey, how you doing? Oh, yeah. Hey, it's Horton. What's going on, bud? We had a big festival. We made some cake, but we would give it to you, but you're like the cake is small in comparison to us, and so it would be even more absurdly small in comparison to you. What's up? Is there another one?
So no. I was trying to do my due diligence and see if there was anything we could find out here on the show.
And you found some hentai with Horton?
Well, Horton, Dr. Seuss's bibliography on Wikipedia. If you scroll down, you get to Dr. Seuss books, and it says the bulk of Theodore Seuss Geisel's books were published under the name of Dr. Seuss, except for Great Day for Up, my book about me, and I'm Not Going to Get Up Today. These books were illustrated and written by Geisel. Note, only first edition information is given. The first book in this table is called The Pocket Book of Boners.
Oh.
That's a Dr. Seuss.
Well,
No, it says this book is a collection of humorous anecdotes and illustrations representing some of the earliest work credited to Dr. Seuss. This came out in 1931.
Before we referred to an erection as a boner, or it might have been referred to as an erection back then.
Yeah.
But a boner would just be considered misspeaking or saying something wrong or silly or saying something foolish.
Okay.
Is that's committing a boner.
It,
But also getting an erection in public is a boner.
That's committing a boner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I commit a boner every time I no.
No, I want you to finish that thought.
All right. So just looking at the publication date, Horton hatches the egg, right? 1940, right? And then Horton hears a who is not until 1954.
Wow, we just took like
14 years for that to happen. So wait. There's
so
a
if it was 14
Wikipedia-
years, maybe I don't know how like birds. I mean, what is it? A year? So I mean, 14 years later, that bird is grown up.
I guess so. It's
So that's not a problem that the egg was first.
yeah. Horton has his own Wikipedia page.
Oh, good.
Not just about the books, but Horton the elephant is a fictional character from the 1940 book Horton Hatches the Egg and the 1954 book Horton Hears a Who, both by Dr. Seuss. That is Jane Kangaroo and Junior Kangaroo. I did not. I forgot that.
Django the kangaroo.
That's a little bit ping pong. Really bringing it back. Horton Hatches the Egg was made into a 10-minute cartoon for Looney Tunes in 1942, created by Bob Clampett. This is the first cinematic adaptation of a Dr. Seuss book, way before any of the other stuff.
Holy shit, bums!
So fucking Looney Tunes and Dr. Seuss have a little bit of action going on there. Think what happens when let's see, elephant and a rabbit, elephant and Bugs Bunny. I don't know. I don't know what happens there. What happens when an elephant makes love to a pig? Hey, Steve, you had a party. You had hamburgers this morning.
Yes.
Tell me more about the party. Like, how did you end up with all these extra hamburgers?
Well, we had because we, as stated in a couple episodes prior, Becky and I bought a home,
a dwelling,
a place to live, and we decided to have a Labor Day / housewarming party this past Sunday, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
And we did a bunch of setup, and then of course, like out of all the days this weekend,
yeah.
Yesterday was the only day we had like a shit ton of rain.
It was fucking weird. I mean, I got up yesterday morning and I knew that your party was happening that day, but I also knew that I had this. I needed to get my book to the copy editor, and I was like, "Fuck, it's raining." And I didn't get in touch with you because I'm a bad friend.
No, don't worry about it. There was a lot of people here, and so if you had shown up, you would have been like, and then I kept on like giving people a tour of the house and just ending it in the basement so we could just sit and chat in the basement without like a fuck ton of people all around. Because, when you have a party,
right,
you typically
especially like a summer party.
Yeah, summer party, you're gonna spend some time outside.
Yeah. Now
we have
is there a deck?
Yeah, we have a deck.
Okay, there's a deck.
We have two, like one that leads up to the bulkhead. Because the bulkhead is higher up, so to get into it, you need to step up into it. So there's a small little deck over there.
Yeah, you've got decks that people could go out on.
Yep, and
you got a little bit of yard.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it was pouring rain from most of the. So we got a little a canopy on the deck. We put that up, and then Becky's folks and my dad were out there being the grill masters.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
as you do. I mean, I think it's the older generations. It's their last thing they can contribute
before they die.
they can man the grill.
Yeah, so they made
take these tongs out of my cold dead hands.
They cooked some meaties and then we Yeah, and like there was just a lot of people.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of people hanging out. I mean, luckily we have a pretty decent sized kitchen.
Yeah, you could fit a decent number of folks in here.
Yeah, but when you have 25 people in your house, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, there's it's like 4 chairs, and then you get a little bit of counter space for people to lean against. But yeah.
I mean, even back in the day, like when Yucko would have parties at his house, like we never had that many people there.
Yeah.
And we always considered those to be like big happening events and whatnot.
Right.
And it was just like, because we invited a bunch of different people from different cross sections. Becky's, I mean, we're all friends with them now, but people that Becky knew from work, or people that I knew from work, and then people from home, and then her old time friends, family friends, and blah 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 blah.
Got a lot of people.
Yeah, and it was just it was great, but I drank too much.
Oh, Steve.
I mean, I didn't get like sick, and I don't think I hope I didn't say anything crazy inappropriate. Unfortunately, I don't have Facebook, so I can't.
You can't find.
I can't find out like the next day. It's like, what a dick, Steve is.
My God, Steve was telling me this shit, and I don't even know. I have Facebook.
We played the T-shirt game. It's called TKO. It's
what is the explain?
Okay, so back in the early 2000s or late 90s, there was these you don't know Jack computer trivia games.
Yes, I used to. Yeah,
and
that was one of my things when I connected to AOL.
And then almost 20 years later, they made a resurgence. With these like games that you play on any of your consoles or on your computer, and you use your phone.
Yeah,
you go into jackbox.tv.
Okay,
and you play a trivia game, or the T-shirt one is basically you draw pictures on T-shirts, and then you write a bunch of slogans for those T-shirts, and then like people combine.
Yeah.
The pictures with the slogans, and then it ends up either being hilarious or gross. The one that I had gotten so drunk that like I was just laughing at all the ones that I did, all the slogans that I made, and the one that made me laugh the most was George of the Cuntle. George
of the Cuntle.
It still makes me laugh, but I'm not hammered anymore. It's got to be funny.
I think so. It made me chuckle.
Well, yeah. So we played that, and I'm sure I probably annoyed everybody with like the various drawings of dicks or people bending over and having a huge gaping asshole, like, and there's like a little peenie going down in between the legs.
Yeah. As long as both parties are willing participants, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, a gaping asshole in and of itself is.
It wasn't like there was any dicks going into the asshole. It was just because it was from the perspective of looking right at the asshole. So it was like the dick in front kind of hanging down.
Oh, okay. Got
it. Little one.
Little weenie.
And not hard.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. But when a hot dog goes down that hallway, it better be hard.
Yeah, we had hot dogs yesterday.
Yeah, but not as many. Well, you had more hot dogs probably than you had hamburgers.
I did not have a hot dog.
Okay. I'm saying that your party as a whole probably had more hot dogs than hamburgers. That's how you ended up with extra hamburgers.
We still have extra other stuff, but like most of the extra food is hamburgers.
Yeah, because
hot dogs and sausages do not take as long to cook as a hamburger. And so, therefore, people eat hot dogs and sausages and then aren't hungry when the burgers are done. So you gotta
fucking people.
You gotta put the hammies on first.
Yeah. Then who's on first?
Didn't we already do this?
Well, I mean, does it count? We did it before the show.
That was before the show.
Oh,
shit. Well, tune in, fucking episode 200 and something.
206.
Yeah,
206. Right? Yeah, something like that.
Wouldn't it be 208?
Yes.
Yeah, there we
208.
go.
208. We were at Gloucester today. We like got in the car and just
Did you
drove.
get lost?
No, we got in the car and we drove, and we turned out we got there for like some sort of parade or something, some parade of ships. But you kept mentioning hot dogs, and it made me think of dogs. And of course, your neighbor's dog made me think of it. We saw all kinds of dogs. Saw a Great Dane. Saw some. I don't know if they're like. What's like the big fucking shaggy Irish setter? No, it was like a big fucking gray shaggy dog, like thin though. It was wolfhound.
Big fucking dog.
Big fucking dog.
Yeah.
That's a new breed.
Yeah.
We saw like the little tiny little dogs. BFD. And I was just like, well, I think the kids were intimidated by the Great Dane. And I tried to explain that was like a Scooby-Doo dog, and they had no idea what the fuck I was talking about.
They're like, "What's that, Dad? What's that, Grandpa?"
But like, I still come back to like I like a medium-sized dog, and I saw a few of those. I saw probably like a not a Labrador, Springer Spaniel kind of dog, like one half of my brother's dog growing up, and that dog was down the stairs into the surf, just kind of like. Playing in the water, and I thought it made me sad for a second because I was like, I don't think we ever brought our dog to the ocean.
That dog, he did not have he did occasionally when he broke free have a good life, and he got lucky on more than one occasion.
There's a lot of puppies around that neighborhood.
Not only did you guys not get him neutered, but the neighbor dogs did not get their dogs spayed, so. Nope. That equals,
lots of puppies.
Ooh, what a night! It's a beautiful night. Whenever Max breaks out of his cage.
But I mean, he was a slightly bigger than medium-sized dog, but
he was unruly.
He was unruly. Yeah. Because he's a dog that anyway. That's why, like, if I had a dog, I want a dog that I have plenty of time to take out for walks. And that I have plenty of time to like play with the dog. Mm-hmm. And this is why I probably won't ever have a dog for a very long time, because I want a dog that gets to be a dog and doesn't just. And if I couldn't do those things, I'd want to be in a financial position where I could send the dog to a place where it could play with other dogs all day instead of sit around and be mopey and wait for.
Well, it depends on the breed. Like certain dogs, I mean,
certain dogs like to just
they just kind of want to find a nice little patch of sunshine in the window and just lay in that, like kind of like a cat would.
Yeah. All right, so maybe I need one of those dogs.
Or maybe you need a cat.
I'm allergic to cats. I also don't like cats. It's like a little lion in your house.
It's as opposed to a little wolf.
A dumb wolf. Like, but the cat is like a really smart but tiny lion, right? And a dog is a really big, dumb wolf, or a little.
They're smaller.
They're dumb, and that's what I like about them.
I mean,
they're dumb and lovable, and.
I mean, that is a good sentiment to have, because so you're not going to be making a dog's life miserable, and vice versa, because if you don't have the opportunity to sit down and train the dog, they're going to be unruly like Max was, and it's just going to be a nightmare, because you're like, okay, this crazy dog doesn't like anybody except for like, what was it, your brother and your father. I think the only people that the dog didn't completely like go psycho over.
Yeah. It was anyway. But that kind of dog, not a hot dog. It just got me thinking about it. We saw a bunch of little puppies and doggies, and a lot of not tall ships, but a lot of ships with sails. It was nice. We didn't even know what we were in for, but we ended up.
Ended up in Gloucester, and then we were like, okay.
I mean, Stephanie likes the North Shore. Like, she likes to go up there, and I think if we made a lot more money, we would be near the ocean some way.
I mean, I like Salem because, but when I go to places, I don't necessarily want to be outdoors.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I want to go to like pubs or like places that have like a pinball machine or like cool restaurants or. Comic book shop or video game store.
I don't mind being outdoors, but I like there to be places of interest to stop into.
Yeah.
So like that stuff way more interests me than going camping, because like I'll go outside and I'll be fine camping, but then when I come back to like lay down, I'm still outside, except in like a thin canvas bullshit palace.
I don't know if camping for me, camping for me was never camping. Like we didn't like my grandparents had for the longest time a seasonal camp area at what the frick was it called?
It wasn't like the nudist camp up there in
no.
125 in
It was
New Hampshire.
it was in Meredith, New Hampshire, which is right near Lake Winnipesaukee, which is why I spent a whole heck of a lot of time at Fun Spot when I was younger and into my later years.
They had a camp somewhere.
I gotta look it up. But
all right, well, yeah. So I mean, anyway, but we also went today to
Harbor Hill.
Harbor Hill.
I didn't need to look it up. It just popped back into my brain. Harbor Hill Campground, and I think it's still there. I don't know if. But then they got rid of that one, and they got a seasonal one at Oob. Old Orchard Beach.
Old Orchard Beach, yeah.
Which was kind of better, but I didn't go as much because they got that when I was like in like either high school or had already graduated.
Okay.
And so it was just like, it's not cool to go visit your grandparents.
Yeah, it starts to not be at a certain point.
Yeah. But that was like a good time or a good place because it was like you could walk down to Old Orchard Beach and all the stuffs that is down there.
And there's
the constant midway of like carnival games and
my dad's cousin has a place either in Old Orchard Beach or just outside. I think it's got to be in because I think we walked from his house.
And you just have to dodge the swarthy French Canadians.
Yeah. We did not have to dodge any swarthy French Canadians all along the Rose Kennedy Greenway, which is the second thing we did today.
Oh wow, we were all over the fucking place.
Because Stephanie wanted to go. The kids decided we were going east, right? And then Stephanie decided she'd like to go northeast. At
a certain point, you can't go any more east.
Yeah, she was gonna go. She wanted to go northeast, go up towards Gloucester. And Melody, for some reason we didn't really realize until much later, wanted to go southeast to Boston. She wanted to go on the ferry boat and go see some of the harbor islands, which we did once last year. She did once with summer camp this year. She didn't tell us that's what she wanted to do, so we did not plan enough time to do something like that. But she turned out to be just, happy to hang out there. And we'd never walked the Greenway. And the Greenway, it's really neat because if you grew up around here, not to get too local for you.
Actually, this is probably a really good instance of getting local.
Yeah, if you grew up in the Boston area before they started the Big Dig, the reason they did the Big Dig is in part that there was this huge double-decker green iron monstrosity that cut the city in half that was Route 93 going south.
Yeah. And
so the part of what the Big Dig was doing was taking that and putting it underground, and then all of a sudden, once that green, not the green monster, which is at Fenway Park, but once that green monstrosity was gone, it was really remarkable to see what were they going to do with it. And now they've made this nice long green park out of it, and you can see from the north end over to the rest of the city, and everything feels a little bit more connected, and it's pretty. But not only that, there's a fucking, what we didn't realize till today, there's a carousel, which the kids went on. Mostly instead of horses, it's mostly local animals. So there's some squirrels, there's some rabbits, there's
local animals. Like,
well, I don't know.
I mean, horses. I mean, they I don't think they were. Well, they might have been native to.
No.
Oh wait, we brought them
from Europe. Okay. Yeah. There's a whole video on that you should watch them.
Yeah, I'm gonna get right on that.
It's like, okay, not to get horribly off topic, but no, there's
like the third time today.
There was a book called Guns, Germs, and Steel, which I found out about through this video. And the video is like 10 minutes long, and I think there's a sequel to it that's like 10 minutes long by this guy, C.G.P. Gray, about, I don't know if the first video is called America Pox or if the first video is one of the other ones, but it's basically about he presents the whole thesis of Guns, Germs, and Steel in like 20 minutes and 20 interesting minutes. And then I tried to read the book, and I was like, this is boring the shit out of me. It did win the Pulitzer Prize, but it bored the shit out of me.
Pulitzer Prize.
It did. But anyway, so there's there are no horses in America until we brought them over.
Okay.
So anyway,
you would basically be like, goodbye horses.
There's a nice carousel.
I'd fuck me.
There's a nice carousel. There's some splash parks. There was a couple art projects and mazes and other stuff, and just pretty green stuff.
Did I talk about the duck tits?
Woo!
No. When we first
duck tits.
When we first moved here, we were going to a diner in Stowe, and we drove by this house.
Yeah.
That has this art piece, which I found out earlier is called, hold on, Seagull Cinderella. So you can look that up, do a Google image search for Seagull Cinderella, and you will be able to, or you could just put that as the image.
I can try to do that. Seagull Cinderella
is in the front lawn of a resident of my town, and on the way to Stowe, and I was like, holy shit, that duck has tits. And Brian. Not the one that
friend of the show.
He is a friend of the show.
Okay, but not like he writes all the time, Brian.
Not Brian, that frequent contributor to the show. Okay. Brian, not that one. Yeah. Different Brian. He was driving and he was like, "Holy shit, duck tits!" on the way here.
Woo. No, sorry, I'm making that not funny now.
Yes.
Like big ones.
I mean, you're gonna have to look at the picture and judge for yourself.
You ever
grab a duck tit?
No. Donald in is it Saludos Amigos, or is it there's a couple of okay.
All right.
This last Christmas I got it in my head that I was going to finally get all of the Disney. We talked this is tying it back to the beginning. I was going to get all of the Disney animated feature films. This was my mission.
And I owned
a bunch of them, and I had to go track down a bunch more.
Was that was that a cartoon, or was that like part?
It was
real
part
life?
Cartoon, part real life. Saludos Amigos, as was the Three Caballeros, and I cannot remember which of these it was in, but there's one where Donald spends a lot of time ogling. The fine young women of Brazil, and so we see that Donald does have a thing for breast meat, if you know what I'm saying, and what's a thing for butts? He likes butts.
Butts.
He likes butts.
He's a regular Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Becky. Sorry, I just spoiled it for you. Becky, look at that butt.
Oh.
It's so big.
Wow.
Let me see. Anything else on here? Sports ball, Chris's writing binge, hot comics. We got about 7 minutes left. I don't know if I can make anything funny out of me writing for 12 to 13 hours.
Yeah, I
mean that maybe that's funny to you.
I mean, it's probably good for anybody that's planning on buying your book.
Yeah.
What's the book called again? I remember what it is, Chris. I'm just giving you an opportunity to plug it.
I figured you knew what it was. I was like, thank you for the sly little...
but now I completely ruined it.
It's called Missing Mr. Wingfield.
Oh, and so it's available on
clarkwoods.com right now.
Oh, wow. So you can go there and purchase either a digital copy or a...
Well, right now it's just the hard copy.
But are you planning on doing a
digital
copy?
There's going to be a digital copy, and there's going to be an audiobook copy, and...
Oh, who's going to read it?
I'm going to read it.
Wow.
Because I have a voice like an angel.
Can I read the preface?
There's no preface.
Oh.
You can read the 5,000 word acknowledgement. No, you can't. I'm not putting that on there.
Oh.
So I guess that makes it abridged, I guess.
Yeah, you're not even going to in all the people that you're thanking.
Well, but do you think anybody's going to stay tuned for that? That's
Yeah.
it's 5,000 words.
I'll make
like,
it interesting.
That's like a good 10, 11 minutes.
I'll make it a general like a Bill Burr reading a MeUndies ad.
So there's going to be all of those things. And that was part of what I was working on yesterday. I was doing at the very end of the day, I thought I was done. And then I decided I was going to figure out all the songs that were referenced in the book. And I was going to put them together in a sort of soundtrack that I could put on iTunes and Spotify for people to listen to as a way to get people interested and be like, what? This is a weird combination of songs. So I don't know. I'm doing all sorts of fun stuff.
That's really cool, man.
But it's not funny. It was productive. But that's why I didn't come to your party. I spent 12.
It's okay.
Hours.
By the end of the evening, I didn't know who was there anyways. I didn't know that.
I'm sorry. So I did come to your party. It was really late.
Oh wow!
It seemed like you had a lot to drink.
Was it after we had the fire and we already put it out?
I think I caught a little bit of the end of the fire.
Okay.
A little bit of the tail
when we
end.
were making some more.
Some more, yeah. It was, I caught the tail end just like Donald did when he was on the beaches of Brazil.
Yeah. Was he grabbing butts?
He was shaking his tail feather.
Oh.
That song is not on the soundtrack to the novel. But
okay, cool. Soundtrack to a novel.
Soundtrack to a novel. Yeah. I gotta see if my friend Mary will. There actually was a song when this novel was a play. There was a song that was written for it. And my friend Mary played that song when the play was being performed, and I want her to record it. I think it would be neat.
Oh, okay.
Again, that's not funny, but our podcast doesn't always have to be funny.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why
this episode is evidence.
Hey. We had a lot of talk about burgers and Horton and ducks and robots.
Yes. Gizmo Duck.
You know there's going to be a new DuckTales. Or it might have
I think it already started.
It already started.
I haven't watched it yet, though.
Yeah. I think my kids might have checked out a preview on Disney Channel or some such thing.
Oh, probably on the YouTubes, because that's what they're doing.
Well, they're
days.
on the YouTubes a lot.
Watching unboxing videos and...
No, they watch like makeup tutorials and...
Oh, God.
Fucking...
They should just get into. They should just get into watching speed runs like I do.
Yeah. Is that where somebody runs when they're on speed?
Yes.
That's gonna be pretty funny to watch. You see them now. Is it part of YouTube's guidelines that you can't actually see them snort the speed? Wait, no. Do you snort speed or shoot up speed?
I've never done speed, so I don't know.
I wonder if you do it. Like, probably like a pill. I don't know.
But I wonder if it's probably a pill. You just swallow it.
I wonder if it's
with some water.
I wonder if it's like if you can see that on the YouTube, or if you just have to.
Or you could take it with a Jolt Cola, because they're bringing that back.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Like original flavor Jolt Cola.
Yeah.
Or zero sugar Jolt.
Zoltan the Cola.
Zoltan the Cola.
I wish I were big.
I wish I understood marketing.
All I have to do is just drink a lot of this cola.
So okay, Coke. So you had Diet Coke. And you had Coca-Cola, which was a thing. Coca-Cola was a thing for ages and ages and ages. And then they tried to do New Coke.
Yes.
And New Coke...
With Bill Cosby. Just slip a couple pills in the New Coke, and then you got a fun little time for your evening. He does these impressions.
Jinx. No.
You owe me a Coca-Cola.
So
a New Coke.
But I can't remember if where Diet Coke came in. But Diet Coke, I get the sense, was the New Coke formula, but in Diet Coke form or something like that. But Diet Coke doesn't taste like Coke, right? And Diet Coke was for the ladies. So you always got that impression that Diet Coke was for the ladies. So then in recent years,
it was like a Virginia Slim cigarette.
Exactly like that.
I used to get.
You know, some of the ladies had Tab, but Tab was sweetened with fucking something was worse.
It was NutraSweet, I think, and then they used some other artificial sweetener for Diet Coke.
Aspartame and was Diet Coke.
And they're all garbage and bad for you, including sugar.
In recent years,
or corn syrup, which is also sugar. Or sugar. Remember that song and they were singing that song by the Archies.
Okay, so then recent years they came out with Coke Zero, right?
That wasn't that recent.
And Coke, okay, well, but like the last 10, 15 years.
I think it came out maybe.
I don't think Coke Zero is more than 10
shortly after. I think it was before the turn of the century.
All right, so like 7. We'll give
almost 20 years, Chris.
So Coke Zero's been around for a while, right? But then they slowly tried to like put Coca-Cola Zero on there because they want the dudes to know this is the 0 calorie cola for you. But now, Steve, it's Coke or Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Because just calling it Coke Zero was not enough. They had to change. It's the same fucking can, but now it's Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
He hates these cans.
He hates these cans. Donald doesn't hate cans. He likes the duck tits.
Apparently, millennials are killing boobs. Apparently, they don't like boobs.
You can find the show notes for this episode. Well, I don't know. Actually, it's 8:15 on a Monday night, and I have to work tomorrow.
So you could find a small semblance of the show notes for this episode.
Yeah, at clarkwoods.com/hot/162. And if you want to say anything about how maybe the show notes aren't up to snuff this week, or this whole episode isn't up to snuff, fuck yourself. No.
Yes, please.
You can. No, I'm just
bend over with your gaping asshole.
You know, there's the comic book series, and now it's a AMC series. I don't know if it's in... Is
it called Gaping Asshole?
No, it's called Preacher.
Oh, I've heard. I saw
the guy's superpower is that he has the Word of God, and anything he says when he says it in the Word of God, you have to do, and you cannot refuse him. You are compelled. And so one time he tells a guy to go fuck himself in the comics, and the guy takes his dick off and shoves it up his butt.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I think that's how it goes. Anyway,
I don't want to piss off the preacher.
Don't fuck yourself. Please send us the email and tell us what we did wrong. The email address is hot@clarkwoods.com.
Hot@clarkwoods.com.
Yeah, or you can tweet us. I'm at ECC1977.
And I'm at Tuesday is Loser. And I didn't do this part earlier because I didn't feel like doing it twice in one episode. That's at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday IS Loser, all one word.
You sound so sad when you say that. Please follow us, Steve.
Yeah.
Tell your friends to follow Steve.
Yeah, I tweet once a week sometimes. I actually tweeted twice.
I think you tweeted?
Tweeted twice.
You tweeted twice a week.
Yeah. No, I think I tweeted. I tweeted last night when we were around the fire, and it was like lines from the Bill Bent song. I said, "Not bad, just chilling at my home."
Yeah, you're doing a live performance right there on the Twitter.
Yeah.
No? Yeah?
I tweeted at Will and Garen and Dan.
Oh, so it was like a private show. It was a house.
Well, I mean, anybody that follows me could have seen it. So.
Well, if you tweeted at them and they don't follow them.
No, but I said not bad, just chilling at my home first.
Oh, you did it the right way.
Yeah, and then I put them. I tagged them.
See, that's another reason that you should follow Steve. He knows how to use the Twitter.
I guess so.
He does.
So shut up and listen to this show more, and follow me on Twitter and all that shit.
I gotta go take it down.
Gross.